You've lived long enough to know dogs are full of surprises. But some of their behaviors still leave you wondering why on earth do they do that? Like the way they spin and spin before going potty. Is it just a silly habit? Or is there something ancient, even instinctual behind it? What if I told you that little spin might be your dog's way of scanning for danger, marking their turf, or even aligning with the Earth's magnetic field? In this video, we'll uncover 10 of the strangest things dogs do and what they really mean. Stick around till the end. Behavior number 3 might help you catch a hidden health issue your dog can't tell you about. After this, even the weirdest things your dog does will finally make sense. Let's start with something you've probably seen 100 times. Number 10. Why does your dog spin in circles before going number 2? Now, if you're like most dog owners, you've probably stood there leash in hand, coffee getting cold, watching your pup go around and around like they're performing a strange little dance. You might laugh, roll your eyes, even joke, pick a spot already. But behind that dizzying ritual, there's a deeper story. To your dog, that spin is not just stalling. It's strategy. It's part instinct, part communication, and part, believe it or not, magnetic navigation. Yes, your dog might be aligning with the Earth's magnetic field to find the perfect direction. Researchers have found that dogs prefer to poop along the north-south axis, and they'll keep circling until it feels just right. Not for comfort, but for cosmic alignment. But there's more. Spinning gives them a 360-degree check of their surroundings. Think about it. When a dog squats, they're vulnerable. They can't run, can't fight, can't even see behind them. That's spin. It's their version of checking the perimeter, a leftover behavior from their wild ancestors. Wolves did it to avoid ambushes. Your dog does it out of a deep hardwired instinct to stay safe, even in your fenced-in backyard. And here's a detail most people miss: every step they take before they squat is laced with scent. Dogs have glands in their paws, and as they spin, they're pressing down invisible notes, claiming the ground, saying, "I was here." It's not just about relieving themselves, it's about leaving a signature for other dogs to read later. So the next time you see your dog circling like they're decoding a secret pattern in the grass, don't rush them. That spin is part biology, part survival, and part poetry. In a world of noise and movement, they're looking for a moment of stillness perfectly placed between north and south. And if that behavior surprised you, just wait. What comes next might hit even closer to home, because number 9 reveals something your dog does when they're not okay, even if they're wagging their tail. Number 9, why does your dog pant sometimes for no reason at all? We've all seen it. You're sitting on the couch. The room is quiet. The air isn't hot. And yet your dog is lying there, mouth open, tongue out, panting like they've just run a marathon. You look at them and think, are you hot? Are you tired? Or is something wrong? At first glance, panting seems simple. Dogs don't sweat like we do. Their cooling system is built through breath. Every pant helps push heat out, evaporate moisture from their tongue, and regulate their body temperature. It's like turning on an internal fan. But when that fan kicks in at the wrong time, when there's no heat, no exertion, that's when things get interesting. Because panting isn't always about the weather. Sometimes it's about the storm inside. Panting can be the first whisper of stress, anxiety, fear. You might not see the trigger, but your dog feels it. A strange noise, a shift in your tone, the memory of a bad vet visit. And just like that, the breath quickens, the tongue drops, and the room fills with invisible tension. They can't say "I'm nervous," so they breathe it. And sometimes it's excitement. A new guest at the door, the sound of your keys, the rustle of the treat bag. For dogs, joy and fear can show up wearing the same face, an open mouth, fast breath, eyes wide and alert. It's emotion, unfiltered, unhidden. But here's what most people don't realize. Prolonged panting can be a warning sign. It could point to pain, heart problems, or hidden discomfort your dog is trying to push through with breath alone. So the next time your dog is panting and you're not sure why, don't just assume they're hot. Watch their eyes, their ears, their posture. That panting might be your first clue that something inside them is trying to speak. And speaking of things your dog does to understand the world, the next behavior might make you blush. Because number 8, it involves licking. Places you'd rather not talk about. Number 8, the one you pretend not to notice. Why do dogs lick each other's private parts? It's awkward, right? You're out at the park chatting with a neighbor, and suddenly your dog goes nose deep into another dog's business, like it's the most natural thing in the world. You try to laugh it off, maybe yank the leash gently, but deep down you're wondering, what on earth are they doing? To a dog, that lick isn't rude. It's not even weird. It's communication, primal, honest, and full of meaning. Dogs use scent and taste the way we use language. A single lick can reveal an entire biography, age, gender, stress level, diet, even reproductive status. It's not curiosity, it's investigation. Think of it like this: when dogs meet, they don't shake hands, they read, they scan, they taste the story the other dog carries, one that's written not in ink, but in pheromones. It's data, not desire. And while we might see it as crude to them, it's just clarity. But there's something even deeper. In close-knit packs, licking isn't just fact-finding, it's bonding. It's reassurance. One dog says, "I'm here," and the other says, "I trust you." It's how puppies greet their mothers. It's how friends say, "You're safe with me." And yes, sometimes it's about hygiene too. Like mutual grooming between lions or chimps. Dogs keep each other clean. But it goes beyond dirt. It's intimacy without words, respect without eye contact. It's touch that says, "You matter to me." So the next time your dog gets a little too nosy for your comfort, don't just pull them away in embarrassment. Watch the exchange. Notice the body language. That quiet moment might be the start of a lifelong friendship, or the silent end of a tension. And if you think licking private parts is strange, just wait until you learn what's really going on when your dog sleeps with their eyes wide open. Yes, that's coming next, and it's not what you think. Number 7, your dog's fast asleep, but their eyes are still open. Creepy a little. But what's really going on here? You walk past your dog on the couch. They look half awake, eyes slightly open, body still breathing slow. You think, are they napping? Watching me dreaming with their eyes? It's unsettling, like they're caught between worlds. But what you're seeing isn't the surface of their eye. It's something far older, far more mysterious. Dogs have something we don't, a third eyelid, also called the nictitating membrane. It's pale, thin, and slides across the eye diagonally like a curtain that was never meant for us to see. When your dog dozes off, this membrane quietly glides into place, protecting the eye while keeping one foot in the world of the awake. It's a defense mechanism inherited from a time when sleep meant danger. In the wild, showing weakness, even for a second, could cost you your life. So nature gave dogs a clever trick: sleep. Without looking asleep. A bluff. A silent alarm system. A way of saying, I might be dreaming, but I'm still watching. And there's more. That third eyelid does cleanup duty. Like windshield wipers for the soul, it clears dust, moisturizes the cornea, and keeps everything running smooth while your dog drifts between dream and daylight. But here's what most people don't know sometimes. If that third eyelid becomes too visible while they're awake, it can signal trouble. Dehydration illness, even nerve damage. So don't ignore it if it lingers. That sleepy stare might be your dog's quiet cry for help. So next time you catch your dog sleeping with their eyes cracked open, don't be alarmed. It's not possession. It's not weirdness. It's ancient design, one part warrior, one part watchman, one part poet caught in a dream. And speaking of awkward staring, wait until you hear why your dog is obsessed with sniffing your crotch. That's number 6. And it's more revealing than you think. Number 6, your dog walks up to a guest, sniffs their hand, and then dives nose first into their crotch. And just like that, your polite afternoon turns into an awkward silence. We've all been there. You apologize, maybe pull your dog away, maybe laugh too loud to cover the discomfort. But behind that moment of embarrassment is a truth most dog owners don't fully understand. Your dog isn't being rude. They're being precise. See, humans greet each other with eye contact and handshakes. Dogs, they greet with scent. And the crotch, as uncomfortable as it makes us, is ground zero for social information. That area holds a high concentration of apocrine glands, which release pheromones. These aren't just smells. They're chemical stories, invisible biographies. When your dog puts their nose there, they're not being pervy. They're being perceptive. They're reading who you are. Are you healthy? Are you stressed? Did you just have sex? Are you ovulating, pregnant, recovering from surgery? These questions may never be spoken, but your dog already has the answers. And here's the wild part. Dogs don't just sniff for new information. They do it to check in. A familiar crotch is a familiar person, a safe scent, a piece of their social puzzle falling back into place. It's how they recognize who's family and who's not. It's raw, it's real, and it's deeply rooted in their biology. So the next time your dog zeroes in on someone's nether regions, don't scold or blush too hard. They're not being inappropriate, they're being informed. Tactless, maybe, but always honest. And if you think that's a strange way to show interest, wait till you see what happens when a dog shows you their belly. Number 5, reveals a behavior that looks like trust, but might be something else entirely. Number 5, your dog rolls onto their back and shows you their belly. You smile, reach out, give them a rub. And maybe they flinch, or freeze, or suddenly roll back over and walk away. We like to think a belly-up pose means one thing: trust. And often it does. It's your dog saying, "I feel safe around you." Because the belly soft, exposed, vulnerable, is sacred space in the animal world. No dog shows it lightly. But here's where things get tricky. Sometimes that belly flash isn't affection. It's appeasement. See, dogs, especially pups or more submissive individuals, use this posture as a social reset button. It's the canine equivalent of waving a white flag. I don't want trouble. I'm not a threat. Please go easy on me. It's a gesture steeped in the language of wolves. The posture of peace, not play. The problem, we humans often misread the moment. We reach out to rub what we think is an invitation, but to the dog, it's pressure. Touching the belly during a submissive freeze can actually make some dogs more anxious. You're poking at the heart of their vulnerability without knowing they're saying, "I surrender." So how can you tell the difference? Look at the rest of the body. A dog showing trust will have a loose, wiggly posture, relaxed mouth, soft eyes, a tail that moves like a lazy fan. But a dog in appeasement, tense, still, frozen like they're bracing for a mistake. It's a powerful reminder that love, real love, means listening to what isn't said. And speaking of love and loyalty, number 4, might be the most heartwarming of all. Because when your dog follows you everywhere from the kitchen to the bathroom, it's not just about snacks. It's about something far deeper. Number 4, they follow you everywhere. Into the kitchen, down the hall, even to the bathroom like a furry little shadow that refuses to let you out of sight. At first it's endearing, then it's a little strange, and eventually you ask yourself, why do they always need to be right next to me? Is this separation anxiety, or is it something else? Here's the truth. Your dog isn't just following your feet. They're following their person, the one their heart has chosen. And it runs deeper than habit. It's imprinting loyalty and love bundled into footsteps. Dogs have evolved beside humans for thousands of years. They're hardwired for connection. And over time, we've bred that trait even stronger, selecting for dogs who cling, who watch us, who care when we leave the room. It's not just cute. It's genetic memory. You're not just their owner. To them, you're the pack, your home. And yes, reinforcement plays a part too. If following you leads to attention treats or a pat on the head, the behavior gets rewarded and repeated. But underneath that is something quieter: trust. They follow because you are the safest place in the world. Puppies especially do this during a critical window, when they imprint on their caregiver, often seeing you as a stand-in for their mother. It's not neediness, it's devotion in its purest form. They watch your every move not because they expect something, but because they love knowing where you are. So next time they trail behind you, tail, low eyes, soft like a little guardian without a mission, don't see it as clingy. See it as proof that somewhere along the way, you became their center of gravity. And if you think that kind of love is sweet, just wait until it turns into sudden loud leash-snapping chaos. Because, number 3, that's when love gets tangled up with fear, and it happens the moment you clip on a leash. Number 3, your dog is gentle sweet, the kind that licks babies and naps in sunbeams until you put them on a leash. Suddenly, the moment another dog appears, they explode, barking, lunging, pulling like a creature you barely recognize. You feel embarrassed, maybe even scared. People stare, and you wonder, why are they like this? They're fine, off-leash. So what's happening here? It's not aggression. It's frustration, fear, and a lack of escape. Dogs are built with a fight-or-flight response just like us. When they see something stressful, another dog, a stranger, a loud stroller, their first instinct might be to flee. But on a leash, that option vanishes. They're tethered, trapped. Their freedom is gone. So what's left? Fight. What looks like rage is often panic wearing a tough face. They're trying to create space to scare off whatever's making them uncomfortable, because running isn't on the table. And if barking makes the scary thing go away, the brain remembers. The behavior gets reinforced. It worked once, so they'll try it again. Over and over. A learned reaction that feels like instinct. Other times it's the opposite. Your dog might be friendly, too friendly. They see a dog they want to greet, and the leash becomes a wall. Frustration builds. Excitement turns to tension. Energy flips into reactivity. It's like watching someone sprint toward joy and getting yanked back mid-stride. It doesn't feel good, so they bark, and bark, and bark. But here's the good news: leash reactivity isn't a character flaw. It's a puzzle with pieces. And once you understand the fear, the tension, the communication underneath it, you can help them walk through the world with more peace and less panic. Because not all battles are about anger. Some are just about not knowing how to say, "I'm scared." And speaking of subtle signals, number 2 might be the sneakiest of them all. Ever notice how your dog steals your seat the second you stand up? That isn't random. it's personal. And it means more than you think. Number 2, you get up for just a second, maybe to grab a drink, stretch your legs, check the oven, and when you come back, your dog is curled up right in your seat. Tail-tucked eyes half closed, like they've lived there all their life. You smile. Maybe you scoot them over. Maybe you let them stay. But here's the thing, that little act, it's not just about comfort. It's not about warmth. It's about you. Dogs are creatures of scent. To them, your seat is more than a cushion, it's a shrine. It holds your smell, your shape, your presence. And when you leave even just for a minute, they climb into that space to feel close to you again. It's their way of saying, I miss you already. But it goes even deeper. In the pack world, sharing space, especially sleep space, is an intimate gesture. It's how dogs bond, how they show affiliation. Piling together means safety, love, belonging. So when your dog steals your seat, what they're really doing is trying to fold themselves back into your presence, to feel like they're part of you even in your absence. And sometimes it's clever communication, a soft little protest. You left me, they say so, now I'll wait where you were. And maybe you'll come back and bring me with you next time. It's not dominance, it's not defiance, it's devotion. They aren't taking over your throne, they're holding it like a loyal soldier, keeping watch. So the next time you find your dog curled in your warm spot, don't be too quick to push them off. You're not being replaced. You're being remembered. And now, here we are. Number 1. The strangest, softest, snowiest behavior of them all. It might look like play. It might look like nonsense. But for your dog, it just might be survival. Number 1, it's winter. The world is hushed under a white blanket. You open the door, your dog bounds out, like it's the first snowfall of their life, even if it's the 10th this week. And then, without warning, they lower their nose and start eating the snow. At first, it's funny. Then, it's weird. Then you wonder, is this okay? Are they just playing? Are they thirsty? The answer, like most things in the dog world, isn't simple, but it's surprisingly beautiful. Dogs eat snow for many reasons. The most basic instinct. Snow is water, and water is life. In the wild, before bowls and faucets and filtered fountains, snow was one of the few ways to stay hydrated in frozen months. Dogs haven't forgotten that. Somewhere in their genetic memory, snow still whispers, "Drink me." But it's not just thirst. It's texture, temperature, the magic of crunch and melt. To a dog, eating snow is part science experiment, part sensory pleasure. Like a child with their tongue on an icicle, they're chasing a moment that melts as soon as it touches their mouth. And here's something else snow feels fresh. Cleaner, crisper, newer than that stale bowl of water sitting by the door. Especially after hours or days. Your dog might be choosing snow, not because it's cold, but because it feels alive. Of course, not all snow is safe. Watch for signs of antifreeze road chemicals or toxins. Urban snow can carry invisible dangers, but pure, soft white snow. In moderation, for many dogs, it's joy in edible form. So when you see your dog out there nose down tail, high biting into the powder, like it's the best treat nature ever made, don't rush to stop them. Because in that moment, they're not just cooling off or quenching thirst. They're tasting the world. And sometimes, the purest happiness really is that simple. And just like that, you've learned what those strange behaviors really mean. But more importantly, maybe you've also learned this. Your dog is never random. They're always speaking with every tail wag, every spin, every snowflake on their tongue. All you have to do is learn how to listen. Now that you've seen the quirks, the spins, the snow eating and the sideways stares. Maybe you're starting to see your dog a little differently. Not just as a pet, but as a living language. A creature who speaks through movement, through breath, through instinct, passed down across thousands of years. Every odd little thing they do isn't random. It's a message, a ritual, a story they're telling over and over in the only way they know how. And if you're here, watching, listening, wondering, then maybe you're the kind of person who hears them. That makes you part of a rare pack. If this video opened your eyes, or even just made you smile, I'd love for you to stick around. This channel, Dog Fact and Fun, is where we dive into the hearts and habits of dogs every week. No fluff. Just real stories, science and soul made for people who want to understand their dogs better than ever before. So if you're ready to keep seeing your dog through a clearer, kinder lens, go ahead, subscribe. There's a lot more to uncover. And your dog. They're just getting started.